Hi everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. The new clan shop rotation has just ticked over, and with this rotation, we have a whole bunch of new additions coming in to the clan shop. So what I want to do in today's video is go through them with you, show you which ones are good value, which ones are traps, and in other words, basically what you should be looking to buy here. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of new stuff. We've got your Carl fragments for a Void Legendary. We have Arbiter skin fragments, Dark Fallen Arbiter skin, one of the first skins added to the game. Everything has been shuffled around a whole bunch as well. There are still Yannicka fragments in there. Of course, I finished Yannicka already. And yeah, you can flick through this stuff. Like, we got Killstroke artifacts. We have Chaos Ore in here now. Legendary books, Void shards, all this stuff. Core Hammer. Like, what is worth buying, though? What do you want to aim for? And what don't you? So that's what we're going to talk about. What I've done, brace yourself for a blindingly white spreadsheet, because I don't like dark mode. Sue me. This is what I've done. Is basically I have come up with this spreadsheet. I'm going to be updating it as we go. I'm missing a couple of bits of info, like how many 3-star chickens you can buy per week. I've been collecting this info myself, so I will update this as we go. And basically, I've taken every item from, and it also shows the clan level, the slot that it comes in, the item itself, how much it costs you in terms of your clan gold, how many you can buy per week, then the value of it. Now, some of these are, up for debate. So I'm going to talk about this and my opinion on these. Like, for example, skin fragments. How much are those actually worth? That's a very subjective thing. Whereas a lot of these things, like the chicken, the energy, silver, brews, potions, skill tomes, all this sort of stuff, these all have pretty much set values. We're actually using the Chosen calculator that he developed for calculating the value of offers you buy in the shop, right? So there's quite a lot of info in there. Obviously, there's a little bit of subjectivity in there as well, but it should give you a very good overview for how much these items are actually worth. And then what I've done is I've tabulated it out with a ranking, basically for the value per 100 gold. So that's what we've done. Per 100 gold you spend, what is the value you get back? Now, let's jump over to, I'll leave this in the description as well so you can take a look. Let's jump over to the important part here, which is what would I actually buy? And what would I not buy? And there's actually some stuff in here that's perhaps a bit of a surprise. So for example, one of the most popular things for people to buy in the clan shop is actually the energy. People think that the energy is very, very good value. Certainly the further you get in the game, the more effectively you can spend your energy on higher level dungeons, more efficient places to farm, all of that stuff. Now for me, the energy though, although it is high up in the what I would not buy list, but it is nonetheless in the what I would not buy list. It's okay, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that's much, much better. What are those things? So, first of all, this one's going to be a bit of a surprise perhaps, but actually the 10 charms that you can get from slot 8 cost you 100 per. You can buy 5 of these 10 charms per week. This for me actually comes out with a value of 2. This is by far the highest value thing. Now, this is actually, by the way, there's a bit more to this. It's a bit more complicated. This is kind of like a conglomeration of the different values of these sorts of charms, because there are many, many types of charms that you can get. You can get charms for pieces of gear. You can get charms for different substats. Which ones are the best? Well, I put it on the sheet, but the best one by far is speed. And in fact, if we were calculating just for speed charms alone, low chance for it to show up. But when the speed charms show up, I'd give them probably actually a value of 4, as in they're probably twice as good as anything else on the page. Like, they are that good. Seriously. Crit rate charms then for me are a bit behind speed, but still very, very good. And then I'm also looking for resistance charms and accuracy charms. Those are the 4 big ones for me. I might pick up some other ones, but like, I wouldn't buy attack charms. I wouldn't buy helmet charms really. I'd really be focusing mostly on those ones. And I'm going to make sure to have enough clan gold saved up every week so that if a speed charm ever shows up, you know for a fact I'm going to be buying all of those out. 100%. Why are these things so good? Well, very simply, very, very simply, what are the best gear sets in the game? Well, for me, a lot of my people are in Perception, but a lot of these best gear sets, Guardian, the Fortitude set, Resistance with Defense, Lethal set is a better version of Savage. These sets that you get, Untouchable, very good as well. Apart from the Hydra sets, like Stone Skin is obviously better than Untouchable, but apart from, a couple of rare cases like Hydra, for the most part, these sets that you can craft in the Forge that you farm from Doom Tower are your best sets. And these are actually quite limited, right? Your ability to farm, like, are you able to farm that the hardest versions of these bosses in Doom Tower hard to get the most resources out. You know, for a lot of people, you're not going to be able to, so you're not going to get that many 5 to 6 star pieces. Are you going to be able to, are you going to be able to clear that stuff out? I don't know. And this gear is so good, you want to make sure that you're getting the best bang for your buck. And yeah, you want to make it happen. So for example, you know, I might want to make sure that when I come in here that I'm going to have speed charms whenever I forge this best stuff, right? Whenever I make a lethal set, which is for my damage dealers, I want to make sure that I'm slapping those crit rate charms into this lethal set. I want to make sure to get my crit rate rolls. Maybe I'm building up a fortitude set. I want to make sure slap resistance charms in there to make sure I get as much value out of that as possible. And you can sort of base on, as you can see, I've got a lot of some of those charms and not a lot of some of those other charms. So this is going to depend on you, how many of the charms you have stockpiled, but I would always be buying speed. Anyway, that's enough talking about charms. You get sort of the idea. People really undervalue these because you're undervaluing how limited those sets are and how good those sets are. You want to make sure you get as many as possible. Next up, similar thing, 6-star Legendary Chaos Ore. I'm shocked. This is only 750 gold. This is an absolute bargain. I've personally valued this as 2, which is like the maximum on this scale. Arguably, this should be even higher, right? This is very, very good. If we compare this to, like, let's say 5 to 6-star Revenge accessories, which are pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't know exactly what the chances are, but it's something like an 80% plus chance of 5-star and a 20% or less chance of 6-star. And then within that, you have to roll it again. If you do get a 6-star, it's another roll between epic and legendary. Is there rare in there as well? I can't remember if there's rare in there as well, but again, it's a very low chance. I don't know, it might come out as like 5 or 1% or something. It's a low chance per one of these. So to actually get a 6-star legendary out of this requires actually a very, very, very big investment of your clan gold. Getting 6-star legendary pieces is tough. 6-star legendary Chaos Ore lets you take a bad 6-star legendary piece. It's got bad main stat, it's got bad substats, and lets you get another go at that. It's effectively, for the sake of a piece that you would otherwise vendor, you would sell it for like 100,000 gold, is effectively giving you another 6-star legendary piece, another chance at it, which is huge. This is especially true of your limited resources. So the Doom Tower sets, yes, part of that. Now, the bigger things I'd be re-rolling are going to be these. Reaction accessories. Where do you get reaction accessories? You get them from you win them in Clan v Clan tournaments. So these are super rare. And more than that, these are things that are really important to perform well in PvP. And you can end up with something like this. I've got so many bloody 6-star legendary attack amulets reaction, which is terrible. Like, yeah, I might use them anyway. I probably should roll some up and start using them just for the reaction effect. But, you know, the main stat is not doing anything for me. Or I've got a banner, but no speed on it. I've got another banner with no speed on it. And again, with this reaction set, I can work around the main stats to a good extent, but I really want that banner to have speed. Losing that much, like losing 12 speed here. I don't even have a very fast banner on her right now. It's not glyphed because she's speed tuned with a couple of teams. But losing out on that speed, you could be losing 20 speed, and that's just something you can't afford in PvP. So that is very limited, very important. Another set I would very much consider would be, and that you want to be saving now to re-roll, even the epic pieces I'd be re-rolling on these guys, even epic reaction, even epic relentless, I'd probably consider re-rolling with this legendary chaos, or I would. Relentless, where do you get relentless? You get it from winning it in tournaments, so you have to place in top positions in tournaments. Very hard to do, especially if you're free to play or low spender. Extremely hard to do, extremely rare, and Relentless is the best damaging set right now on pretty much all of the damage dealers for Hydra, which is the hardest stuff in the game. It's pretty much the best damaging set for Demon Lord Clan Boss. It's just an incredible set. It's super limited, and you need really good stats on the set to make it work. So re-rolling Relentless is also a really high priority. So yeah, this legendary Chaos Ore, extremely good. You definitely want to get it. Let's go through the other ones a bit faster. 6-star Killstroke. This is, I think, pretty obvious. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't come until slot 12, which is very high clan level. There is no clan in the game right now that is rank 12. My clan, for example, we are the 43rd clan in the game. We're level 14. To get to this slot, you need to be level 17, and this scales up exponentially in the amount of XP that you need. It's going to be a long time before we get there, but when we eventually do get there, I think 6-star Killstroke, again, I'm giving you the value here. I'm sort of making this one up, but I actually value this, again, very, very high. It's a guaranteed 6-star piece of gear. It's crit damage gear, but better. the best stuff you can possibly put your nukers in are, a set of lethal alongside a pair of killstroke, not two pair. One pair of killstroke accessories with your 4-piece lethal. That is the best. It's crit damage set, but better. And it comes in guaranteed 6-star, which is really good. So I think this is well worth buying. And you can even stockpile potentially some gold when you're coming closer to unlocking the slot. But it's going to be a damn long time. Next up, 10 rank charms. I think this is also pretty good as well. I'm giving it 1.6 value. That's based off of the actual packs in the shop, how good this is. But yeah, rank charms, again, they're great for the same reason. Crafting stuff in the forge, you want to make sure you've got rank charms, and they are limited. So getting more rank charms for your top end gear to get the best chances is really important. I'm ranking 5-star to 6-star revenge accessories pretty high. So this is sort of a personal thing as well. So you could dispute this a bit. I think that it's well worth it. There's a lot of champions, especially for the clan boss content in the game, that revenge accessories are very strong and give you really big benefits. So especially like champions that can steal buffs with their A1, place crucial debuffs with their A1, that stuff becomes much more powerful and gives you a lot of extra damage when you use it. So for example, like in my clan boss team, I used Gintoro, and he has, what's he have? He has 2 pieces of revenge, right? So he has a 10% chance to counterattack when hit. And we go 50 turns on the clan boss, right? That gives us at least 5 counterattacks usually. That's a whole chunk of extra damage to help push up to the 1 key or whatever it is that you're shooting for. So it actually ends up being pretty decent. So I value these relatively highly. I think certainly if you're an earlier account, you actually get these at slot number 5, which is, we jump over here, that's a clan level 5. You can get these really early on, and for an early account, especially when you're not able to get very far in the spider dungeon, accessories are hard to come by. Getting 5 and 6-star accessories is extremely good. So for early game accounts, this is excellent. This is pretty much your go-to buy. And especially seeing as the 4 to 5-star revenge accessories are hidden behind skin fragments that are going to take you weeks and weeks and weeks to get. So yeah. Yannicka fragments, I actually value these pretty highly as well. I think Yannicka is very good. She's a great Spirit Affinity nuker, very strong, good against things like Nekret, good against things like Candrafon, so I think she is worth getting. I also value her pretty highly because seeing as she is just a Spirit Affinity legendary, you do have a decent-ish, obviously very ish, chance of potentially getting a duplicate of her. And duplicates aren't so bad. They'll help you fill out your faction guardians. Eventually, you could potentially even empower her. So for me, that is what makes her fragments better than the Yakarl fragments. Obviously, I really like Yakarl. He's a great Void legendary, but your chances of getting Yakarl dupes are pretty low, so he's not going to help you at faction guardians or empowerment. And he's also more expensive. So I'd actually go for Yannicka first. I think she's really good for Arena. She's decent for Hydra-ish as well. And yeah, it's not that expensive, and you get a legendary out of it. I think it's worthwhile. Rare skill tomes. These are also actually surprisingly good. Now, obviously, this is an early game only thing. I mean, you reach a point reasonably early on where you're just not going to need any more rare skill tomes. But if you are at the point of a game where you do need rare skill tomes, this is actually a pretty good deal. This is a pretty good deal on rare skill tomes. So in those initial months of playing, especially if you're not able to get into a clan that has 5 to 6-star revenge accessories, getting your rare champions, the good ones, booked up. Don't buy these like crazy and book up rare champions that suck that you're never going to use. But getting these on important rare champions, good ones like Coldheart, stuff like that, it's actually very valuable. So I would consider it. Yakarl fragments, I would likewise consider buying. And yeah, then 5-star glyphs. This one is, I think this one is a maybe. Obviously, getting a 5-star speed glyph is pretty damn nice because that's very limited. That's pretty huge. It is a lot of clan gold though, so this one is definitely a question mark for me. I'm not 100% sure if I would recommend it, but it's something that I'd be more likely to gamble on compared to others. Let me put it like that. And then the Arbiter skin fragment. So obviously in terms of value, in terms of actually helping you progress in the game, it's 0. It does nothing for you. But in terms of being cool and fun, I mean, it's subjective. I'm giving it a 1. I'm definitely putting it in the stuff I would buy. I'm going to be buying it. I definitely am. I think it's a fun thing to get, so I'm going to get it. But some people might never get any of these fragments and be like, it's a waste of time. For some people, you might rate it as like 10 points. You might be like, this is the best thing I can possibly get in the entire game. I love this so much. I'm always going to buy those. It's sort of subjective. It's up to you. Then in stuff you wouldn't buy, to quickly mention these, there's some in here that might surprise you. I have put legendary skill tomes at the top of this. It's a terrible deal, guys. It's so bad. The value is awful. One of the worst ways to possibly get legendary skill tomes. The thing is, though, if you are a free-to-play spender, a free-to-play player, a non-spender, you're very limited on legendary skill tomes. You just might simply not be able to get any, and it could be locking you out of progressing in arena, progressing in Demon Lord Clan Boss, even worse. So although this is in the what I would not buy section, you might sometimes need to buy these just as a free-to-play player in order to just book out some of those legendaries that you need right now to progress. If you are even a low spender, you're pretty much better off just buying a legendary skill tome with money and spending your clan gold on something else. So do bear that in mind. 5 to 6 star kill stroke, likewise, is kind of, it's there alongside energy. They're both, that's how I'm ranking it. They're both okay. I think there's better ways to spend it, but these are both okay-ish. Certainly if you want to get Killstroke gear, this is where I might consider buying it, because 6-star Killstroke is locked behind slot 12. I will certainly say, once you get up to slot 12, you know, you can spend 1,000 gold a week on 6-star Killstroke. You're never going to buy 5 to 6-star Killstroke ever again after that. Even coming close to unlocking this slot, I'd be saving my gold and never buying this again. But look, if you need Killstroke gear, if you really want it for your nukers, it's not great, but it's not the absolute worst. Likewise with energy. Epic skill tomes, again, likewise, these are potentially a bit rare. You might need them early game. It's not a great deal. Void shards, also not a great deal. Here's an interesting one from the other side of it. Core hammers. This is actually monetarily, value-wise, a very good deal. You don't get them until slot 12, though. You're not going to have to worry about this for ages. But I would not buy these core hammers. They let you craft in the forge. These are the things you can see here that let you craft swift parry and deflection, and that's nice, but these gear sets really aren't that good anymore. So this one's a bit of a gamble. I think it's a bit of a gamble. I'm rating it as no, don't buy it right now. I think there's plenty of insanely good stuff like Chaos Sword and these charms that are worth getting, yeah? But if they ever add a set in the future that's better, if they buff those sets, then the core hammer might become more worth it. But right now, I wouldn't buy it. Likewise, I'd never buy silver. 4-star glyphs. 5-star chicken is cool. It saves you some hassle, but it's awful value. I'm not sure about the 1-day XP boost in 4-star chicken. Likewise, I'm assuming they're going to be really bad value. Superior potions, 3-star chickens. Yeah, all this stuff is crap. Don't buy it, basically, is the way it's looking. So yeah, there you go, guys. This is the stuff I would buy. I mean, you can literally spend all your clan gold easily on 6-star chaos ore. I guess there's a limit where eventually you'll run out of 6-star stuff to reroll, but saving up for Killstroke is good. Again, these charms, rank charms, excellent stuff. You know, getting these fragments is really good. There's plenty of stuff here for you to be spending your gold on. There's no way that you're very unlikely you're going to need to dip into the what I would not buy section. But there you go, guys. Long video, but hopefully a pretty comprehensive video in terms of the stuff that you want to be looking to buy, right? In terms of stuff you want to be looking to buy, those are my recommendations. Like, again, for me this week, with the set I have in here, am I going to buy them? I'm not going to buy defense charms because I don't want defense charms. I don't need rare skill books on my account. I'm going to buy the skin fragments. I'm going to buy the Akarl fragments. And then I'm probably, because I'm a low-ish on the clan gold, I'm probably going to start saving up for next week and hoping that we get some good charms coming around next week instead. Okay, this is, I can actually fill this in after the video. It's 300 for this. Yeah, I wouldn't be buying that again. Like, I don't even buy this stuff, and I've got 3 weeks saved up, so you get tons. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon. I'm going live soon, so I'm gonna go prepare for that. Go have some coffee. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.